Hi everybody, Meredith here. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video, I just got back from a recent trip to Walt Disney World, as I said in my previous video, and I wanted to show you because this was something I was looking for when I was kind of planning for this trip. All the things that I took that I'm happy I had. Disneyland and Disney World are very different. The walking is a lot more at Disney World. The weather is different. So I didn't really I would try and find videos. There was not a lot on the internet with stuff like this. So I thought, well, I'm going to film one when I get back because then I'll know what were some good things to bring and what were some not so great things. This one's just going to focus on just like the good things that I was so happy I brought. Just so if you're planning your first trip to Walt Disney World, maybe you'll get some tips from my experience. So the first thing that I brought that I was so happy to have was my Loungefly backpack. I love a good Loungefly backpack. If you're not familiar with them, there's these smaller faux leather backpacks that are super fun. And it has a pouch here, and sometimes they'll have a pocket in front here. This one's tucked in. And they're just like a nice size, and they're really, makes your outfit, and it's just extra fun. I saw this on Shop Disney and I wanted to get it so bad. It's Cinderella's Castle, and I thought how perfect because I'm gonna see Cinderella's Castle. So I made sure to have this, especially the day I was in Magic Kingdom. On the back, you can see, just because I know I'd be interested in the bag, really. It shows, this is one of my favorite parts, Cinderella getting in her beautiful dress. This was so handy to have. It's small, small enough to be not annoying, and it's but it's big enough to hold everything that I'm going to show you and some. So yeah, so really loved having that. And connected to that, I took this and I connected it to my strap right here, and I'll show you how this works. This was a gift from a friend, and it is an ear holder. So your Minnie Mouse or your Mickey or Minnie Mouse ears that you wear in your head. If you're tired of wearing them, which don't we all get tired of wearing those halfway through the day? You just slide them in here and then close this tight around the center part of the ears. So actually, let me pause this video. I'm gonna go get a pair of ears so I can show you how it works. Okay, I'm back. The ears were just super close, but these are the ears I'm gonna show you. So you pull this down and you put them in like that, all the way in where it gets to the center of the bow or the center of the ears. And then you pull this down, and this connects to your bag. They do not fall off or anything like that. The only thing I will tell you is my friend had some ears that had more delicate bits, and those did get pulled off from bags in and out of your ride, basket in front of you, things like that, grabbing your bag. Some of her ears did get damaged, so you want to be careful what ears you're putting in. Something this basic, like the rose gold ears, I've done this a few times now and I've had no problems. So just keep in mind what ears you do have, and when you're pulling your bag in and out, you still need to be careful because these are not, in a bag, they're attached to your bag. But she got this for me on Etsy, and it's the 50th anniversary one. I just think it's so cute. It was kind of like a special thing to have for my trip with my new bag, and very useful and fun. Okay, so the next thing I loved having, which Disneyland, I know they're getting, but not soon enough, Disneyland get on it, is my Magic Band. I got my Magic Band on Shop Disney, and just basic blue. I know there's other things you can jazz it up with, but I just wanted to see how I would like it. I loved having it. It was so useful. It was so fun being able to how many times have I seen people get into the park by putting their wrist up? But yeah, I loved my Magic Band, just super useful and helpful. And I can't wait for Disneyland to get the capabilities of using these, because I'm sure I'll get some cuter ones in just the basic blue when that happens. Okay, so you use your phone a lot at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland with Genie Plus. If you're planning on using Genie Plus, use it a lot. Even in general, we use our phones all the time. And with that many phones going or whatever, not long of a day, your phone drains. So a backup battery, which I have here, was so useful. So make sure you take a backup battery and have it fully charged and ready to go, and don't make the mistake I did, have the right cord with you when you're in the park so that you can charge it right onto your phone. Following up with that, there's only so many outlets in a hotel, especially if you're going with, family members or friends. Everyone's fighting for the outlets. So I picked this up. I think this is gonna be so useful for all my trips in the future. Loved this, and it has more on the side. And this is just so I wasn't stressed about, like, I could pack, charge my backup battery, my phone, my AirPods, everything that I needed all in one outlet. And I didn't feel like I was hoarding outlets. So I loved having this, and I got this on Amazon as well as my backup battery. Okay, so this next set of items all has to do with the lovely weather of Florida. I come from California. We have very dry heat. Disneyland, I only go to Disneyland when it's cool out. I like to go in October. I like to go in January or February. I do not go in the summer for a reason. And Florida is like hot all the time. So, or just, the rain and all that stuff. So when we went, it was hotter than California, and I had some rainy days. So knowing all that could happen, or like what, you don't know when it's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, you're planning for your trip, but a few weeks out, you don't know the exact weather. I wanted to be fully prepared so that I could just enjoy my trip and not have to be stressing when I'm there. And one of those things that I loved having, and I carried this with me, was obviously sunscreen. You can get any type of sunscreen that you like best. I liked having this face mist with me. It was cooling during the day when I'm like super hot. I could just spray my face. I knew I'm getting extra sun protection, as well as my regular sunscreen that I put on, and as well as my regular sunscreen that I put on my face in the morning anyway. This was just like an extra thing to have in my bag that I could use. I used it all over on my like arms and stuff throughout the day, just so that I wasn't sunburned. Because you see people that are sunburned and you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that much in pain. And I know that feeling. So having sunscreen with you to reapply throughout the day as you're waiting in line or waiting for your reservation, highly recommend. Okay, so speaking of like the rain, a poncho. My friend gave me this poncho. I wore a poncho when we were in Epcot, and I wore a green disposable one, and I was so thankful to have it. It just all of a sudden downpoured, and not fun being wet and like trying to get on rides, but having a poncho is just so great. I'd always seen the people at Disneyland, but I'm like, we don't get that much rain. I never went when it was that rainy, so Florida's like a whole nother story. And so happy to have my poncho. And it wasn't super muggy. It didn't make me super hot like a jacket, like a raincoat might. It was just nice to have. So I recommend getting a poncho. You can get one for like a couple bucks, and then you can throw it away when you're done. But if you want to keep reusing, you can, invest in maybe like the Disney World ones. And then you'll be able to have it for all your trips, and you'd look super cute because you have your Disney World one. Now, this is something I did not take with me. I only took mouse ears, like Minnie Mouse ears with me, and only wore them like a couple times. But I purchased a bucket hat, like you would have saw in my last video, and a cute visor. And both of these were so useful. I picked these way over my ears because of the Florida sun. It kept the sun out of my eyes, kept the sun off my skin, and were super comfortable and airy. I didn't feel like I was wearing, I think like a full baseball cap might be a little hot, and you're not getting the sun protection as much as like a bucket hat. So getting a perfect like hat visor situation was very useful. I'm happy I was able to pick these up when I was there. But for future trips, I know I'll need to pack these with me so that I have them. Okay, so the last two items are for those things that you're walking around the park and it's so hot and so humid. What do you do to cool off? This fan is awesome. I got this on Amazon. It's a mister fan. So you put water in this, and then when you turn it on, you can have it mist onto you. And let me tell you, the mist does not make you wet. It does not. It's like the ever perfect mist that comes through. And I loved having this. I highly recommend it. There's a bunch. You can just look for it online on Amazon, and it's like a misting fan. But this one was really nice. It's rechargeable. You can prop it up. Like I would prop it up on the table as I'm eating my meal so that I could cool off while I was eating my meal. But let me tell you, like, I use this thing so much. And again, my backup battery, I use this to recharge it. It was, use the backup battery to recharge this. My fan, this was like my best friend on the trip. as much as I loved this other item, the fan really outstood this item, but I did use this last item, and it was connected to my bag, and it's a cooling towel. So when you pull this out, you just get it wet and you can put it around your neck, and it just cools you off. I used this in Hollywood Studios. I gave in and used this. The fan helped me the whole trip. The only time was in Hollywood Studios in the heat of the day. I remember standing in for Beauty and the Beast, and there's these water fountains, and I got it soaking wet and put it on, and it was so nice. So definitely worth having, especially if you're taking kids. You definitely want these items. I know they have like the fans that clip to strollers and stuff to keep your little ones cool. I highly recommend investing in like the fan, the cooling towel, hats, like all this stuff is just going to make your trip so much better and so much more comfortable. You don't want to like be grumpy on your vacation because you're uncomfortable. At least that's for me. I do not want to be grumpy. I get really grumpy if I get hot, and I do not want to not enjoy this expensive vacation. So, I was happy I got all these items, and they were very useful, and I'll want to remember this for when I take another trip to Florida. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because I loved it. All right, so that is it. That's everything that I took with me, that I would definitely take again. Weather-wise, I mean, obviously you want comfortable shoes and like work, weather appropriate clothing, but these are those things that like you may not think about when you're packing, or you may just be concerned. For me, like I like to look cute for the parks. So like not thinking about like a hat or like what you want to be comfortable in. So that's what this video is all about. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment down below on any other tips that you may have, and like and subscribe to this video. And I will talk to you next time with a new video. Bye.